Hi everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at how we can manipulate objects inside 3ds Max. Before we start moving objects around, let's take a look at the axes and understand the coordinates a little bit. If you noticed, at the bottom left corner we have this gizmo here which says X, Y and Z, and we have these different colors. These are called axes, and we can use these axes to move objects around. Alright, so to move object we have to use the move tool, and move tool can be found on the main toolbar. So we have these three different tools. The first one is select and move, then select and rotate, select and uniform scale. So let's start with the move. So if I just click on this tool here, I can select this. And now if I select the object here, for example this cube here, I have this gizmo here. So this is called gizmo, and we have same axes as we saw here, Y, Z and X, Y, Z and X. And we can use these to move objects around. For example, if I just click and hold on this X axis and move or drag around, I can move my object. And same applies to this other axis. And we have these planes here. So if I want to move this object in Z and Y axis, not in the X, then I can just click and hold on this plane here, and I can move this object like this. So it is not going to affect or go in the X direction, only in Y and Z. Same apply for this plane here. So Z and X, not in the Y. And the last one is Y and X, not in the Z. So we can use that to just move on the ground. So this is the gizmo, and we can use this to move and rotate around. But if you noticed, in the other viewports we have a different axis. For example, if I just move this down a little bit, as you can see here in the perspective view we have Z as our up axis, but in the left view we have Y as our up axis. So if I just click once again in the perspective, you can see it's Z, but if I click on the left view I have Y. That's because we have currently set our reference coordinate system to view, and we're going to take a look at this in upcoming videos, so how we can use this to change. So we have quite a few different choices. For example, view, screen, world, parent, local, and we're going to take a look at how these work. For now, just note that we have this. This is going to affect the same, but we have kind of a little bit of confusing here. Alright. And we have other tools like a rotate. So if I just select my rotate tool here, I have the same axes like these axes here, Y, Z and X, and I can just click and hold and rotate in that particular axis or that direction, and I can rotate in any direction. For example, if I want to rotate this uniformly or in a circle, then I can click in the middle. So if I just click and hold in the middle and just drag around or move my mouse, I can just rotate this in a circle in any direction. And one other thing that we can do, as you can see, if I rotate this in the angle like this, it is very hard for me to get this back to the neutral position. We can use these boxes here, X, Y and Z. So this will affect as your current selected tool. So we have rotate tool. If I just select this first text here and then type in 0, then press the tab key, or type 0, press the tab key and type in 0. Now my object is back in neutral position. So this is the rotate tool, and we're going to take a look at how we can rotate this to a certain types or certain position or angle as we go through the course. But for now, just so that we can rotate objects basically. Next is this scale tool, and I advise you to not use this from starting. This is going to create some issues for you. As we go through the course, you will see what I mean by issues, and we're going to take a look at how we can change the size using the scale tool. You can edit or change the scale for the sub objects or the part of objects, but not for the entire object. So if you change the scale of your object, this is going to get you in some issues. To change the size for your objects, just go to the modify panel here, and then we have these parameters here. You can use them to change the size. For example, in the length currently is 1 meter, but if I change this to 2 meter, you can see the size is changed, but my scale is still 100, 100 and 100. So scale and size is a little different in 3ds Max, and we're going to take a look at how this can get you in issues as we go through the course. Alright, So these are the tools that we can use to manipulate objects a little bit. And if you go back and forth to this toolbar here, this will get you slow, or this will slow your workflow. So we can use hotkeys for these tools here, and the hotkeys are Q for select tool. So if you're not doing anything, you can use this tool here, and Q is hotkey for this, so that you don't move or rotate objects by mistake. So you have to remember that. Then W is for the move, E is for rotate, and R is for scale. But remember that don't use scale from starting. I advise you that. Alright, so these are the tools that we can use to manipulate these objects and some kind of rotate a little bit. And scale, we're going to take a look at how we can use the scale tool as we go through the course. So that's it for this tutorial, and if you have any questions or problems, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.